Okay, this is a underpainting that I started on 300-pound watercolor paper. There's a disaster painting on the other side of it, on the back. So I drew it with watercolor pencils in this color range. And so they could be activated. They're colored pencils that you can activate the pigments with water. And put a lot of work into mixing the grays and light colors with black and white. So I stayed in this color range and then added black and white. So there you go. So at this point, I'm putting a layer of acrylic medium on top of this. I'm not planning anything specific other than I wanted the background of the paper to be reflecting these colors through the future painting. So on my future painting, since these are watercolor pencils that can be reactivated by being wet, I'm sealing them in, now that they're dry, with an acrylic medium so they won't move or bleed anymore. These acrylic fluid, high flow, they are pretty stable, so I don't have to worry about those. So when you apply different kinds of mediums together, like watercolor and acrylic, they have a different reflective personality. And so this acrylic seal evens the personalities up by everybody's the same kind of sheen, not dull and not shiny. Just let me see which one I have here. Yeah, gloss. I'm putting gloss on there, but that's okay. This is all gonna just kind of glow through the next layer of my painting, which will be all acrylic. And then, since I sealed this pretty well and plan to seal it some more with acrylic paint, later on, if I change my mind about the whole thing, I can paint over the top of it with oil. So that's the succession that is successful with their personalities as far as being archival and their sheen, and I think oil wins out on the quality of the color. So I'm a painting snob, I guess. So anyway, as you can see now, this is stabilized. And I'm going to make sure I did not miss any of this. So this paper is 100% cotton rag paper that they pulp up and they pour onto these screens and make paper out of cotton. And so cotton is an organic matter, and some of the pigments used in watercolor can become organic as far as continuing to rot and mulch itself. And that's what happens to organic materials. So since acrylic is a synthetic, which is plastic essentially, and I'm making layers of plastic over the top of this, prevents the organic material from separating from the next layer and rotting it. Okay. Now, oil is the most organic paint there is. And so it has to be on top of acrylic or gesso or plaster because it will rot other organic materials underneath, like the cotton paper. So you have to have a seal in between oil and the cotton paper, or the cotton canvas, or linen also needs to be protected from oil paint. Seal it with a gesso and that has got to dry completely before I paint on it again, because otherwise it's going to start lifting. All right, stay tuned for part 2